Cool. All right. The title of today's discussion is The Next Step, the Only Step, the Holy Now. We're going to talk about the power of the now moment. First of all, though, I do want to read an email. It's a success story, of course. It's a specific person's success story. And it's an email that I got a little bit earlier today, a couple hours ago, right? And it was a response to the lecture that we had last night. The last night lecture, actually. Yesterday and the day before. And basically, this person was triggered into what they wanted. Right? It's just interesting. That's why I want to read the letter. It's just interesting, okay? So let's start. It says, I've been wanting to write you for a long time, but today I felt something in me push forward and say, send it now. I'm so grateful for you and for what you shared yesterday that I cannot keep this to myself. I have followed you on YouTube for a while. I've listened to your lectures, replayed your words, taken notes, and sat with your teachings. I have gone back and forth between multiple manifesting coaches. I have taken their master classes and spent thousands of dollars on courses. Right? So you already know when you get to this point, you already know they knew the law. Right? There's not much. You already paid thousands of dollars. There's not much more that you need to learn, right? I have tried every meditation and manifestation technique, thinking there was some missing secret I had not found yet. And yet through all of that searching, I still felt like I was standing at the edge of something. The metaphor that flashed in my mind was a skydiver. I felt like a person standing at the door of an airplane with their parachute strapped on. All the information in the world was behind me. Every statistic on how safe the jump was. You hear this? Every success story, every reassurance, every instruction from experts who had done it before. They could tell me the parachute was safe. They could tell me thousands of people jump every day. They could say I would land safely, but none of them could jump for me. Do you hear that? And that was exactly what you helped me understand yesterday. You said, make a decision that you understand. I realized that I have been standing at the edge of that airplane door, staring into the sky, waiting for someone else to push me via the perfect technique, coach, or aligned feeling. I wanted life to give me permission. But yesterday I told myself, it is time. You are the one who has to jump. I have never lacked information. I lacked the courage to say I am the one. So last night I sat with everything and said to myself, I need nothing else. It clicks now. I am done searching. And Alexander, y'all love calling me my full name. And Alexander, I need you to know what happened this morning. My specific person sent me the most beautiful, loving, affirming text message completely out of nowhere. Every single desire I had been holding, every affirmation I had repeated in fear, every hope I had been trying to force was included in that message. We're meeting for dinner Tuesday night to talk. Here's the next part. But I know it's more than just a talk. All I did was decide. I jumped and life rushed forward to meet me. I know this is only the beginning. I know this is the first ripple in what will become a full unfolding of my life in ways I have not even imagined yet. Already getting into it. Thank you for your clarity, for your fire, for your delivery, for your refusal to let people hide behind excuses, and for your ability to say things in a way that goes straight into the soul. Here we go. You gave me what every coach and every course promised but could never unlock, right? What is the most important part even about that statement? That nobody can unlock it. Right? You helped me remember that the decision has always been in my hands. I understand. I know that some of these discussions are triggering. I know that. I know that sometimes I'm a little bit more gentle with the messages. I know that sometimes I come out here and I get on y'all. I know it. Why? Because I know some of y'all just learn in different ways. Some of you learn differently than others. That's it. Okay? But this is just reinforcing what we talk about every day, right? When we talk about it in these different ways. And I love y'all, right? So I'm going to continue to try to come up with creative ways to say this, but it's always about a decision. It's never been about anything more than a decision, right? Then you making a decision, it's working out. Everything works out for me. Okay? Everything works out for me. Now, don't get me wrong. I have gotten several messages. like I've gotten way more success story, way more. But I have gotten a couple that have been like, hey, Alex, you need to work on your tone because you should be more mindful of how you trigger people. But these, when I hear those things, of course, my first impression is that's your problem, not mine. Maybe it's arrogance, but if it's triggering you, that's your problem. It's not my problem. How you respond to a message is always going to be about you. But some people need that. If I simply decided to deliver a message just in a way to satisfy your ego, you wouldn't be triggered enough to make the jump. This is what you're here for. You're not here to be coddled. You're not here to be coddled. Some of y'all would rather have your ass whooped and end up with the life that you want versus somebody just telling you it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Nah, look, this is always going to come down to you making a decision. And it will get to a point, even with these discussions, it should be clicking for a lot of y'all, especially y'all that have been listening for a while, is that I say the same thing. I say the same thing over and over, right? These messages don't change. I might go into more depth in certain things. I might say some things in a different way that might hopefully make it resonate a little bit more with you. But we talk about the same shit every time. So at what point do you understand, or do you just make the choice? Like, you know what? I don't need any more information. I'm just going to decide it's all working out. I'm just going to decide it's working out. At what point? What? Because the delivery is delivery. But do you prefer to change your life? Or do you prefer just for me to sit here and be kind to you all the time? I mean, that's a decision that you're going to have to make. But long story short, it's a decision that you're going to have to make. Okay? It's a decision you're going to have to make. So let's get into it. Okay? So what we're going to talk about today is the present moment. The present moment, all right? The next step, the only step, the holy now. Love you, Miss Pickles. I love you too, Great Cole. Love you too, Great Cole. So here we go. You will never stand in the past again. You will never live in the future. The only place your life has ever unfolded is right here, right now in this breath, right? So we're going to talk about handling the past, right? You've had situations in the past that have supposedly shaping you. You have things that you desire in the future, right? Things that you want. What this discussion is going to be about is allowing those things to unfold. How do you do that? How do you do that? Okay. You accept your desires as fulfilled. This is the way it is, right? I have a desire. I immediately say, this is the way it is. Okay, cool. If that's the way it is, now what's the next step? The next step is I expect it to unfold, but all I can do is handle this moment right now, right? This moment right now is the only one. It's the only place where you're going to meet God. It's the only place where you will be fulfilled. It's simply right now. Okay? So we're going to talk about the power of the present moments, right? I feel like you're going to like this one. It's going to be a little bit different of a cadence, right? A little bit more poetic of a cadence, but I think you'll like this one, okay? You'll never stand in the past again. You will never live in the future. The only place your life has ever unfolded is right here, right now, in this breath. We treat life like a staircase, stretching endlessly into the clouds. We stare at the top step in panic. We look behind us and mourn, right? This is the human condition. We see, okay, I want this million, I want this money, I want that person, and it seems so far away. And so we panic, right? It gives us anxiety, fear. Natural. We look in the past and mourn and we say, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have known this. I wish I would have handled that differently. Natural. Okay? Give yourself grace through that. But how often, how gently do you bring yourself back to this present moment when you're going through whatever? How often do you bring yourself back to this present moment? Okay? So we stare at the top step in panic. We look behind us and mourn. Yet the only step you can ever stand on is the one beneath your feet. The present is the only place God speaks. The only place consciousness creates. The only place you can touch infinity is now. I was having this beautiful discussion with someone today, right? We had met at this coffee shop. We're talking. And we talked about just the situation that they were in life. And afterwards, they were just trying to make this choice. And the beautiful thing after that was the realization that, okay, the choice is made. Now the only time that you have is right now. Right now is perfect. All that will unfold when it unfolds. Right? My future is guaranteed. My desires are guaranteed. I've accepted them. I am God. They are unfolding. But right now is perfect. I am here now, and right now is perfect. Everything that I desire will be there when you get there. Everything you desire will be there when you get there. But right now you are here, and this moment is perfect. This moment is perfect. Right? Nothing to worry about. Simply worry about the next step. And the next step is right now. Okay, the next step is always right now. All right. So 2 Corinthians 6:2. Behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. Right? Paul says some wise things every once in a while. All right. So this is a quote from Paul. Salvation is not a distant appointment waiting for you on some cosmic calendar. Right? Because God only lives in the now. God doesn't abide by the human calendar. Okay? God only unfolds in the now moment. It is not something you earn through spiritual effort, moral perfection, or future transformation. Paul was not pointing you toward a someday blessing. He was revealing the mystery that God is only ever encountered in the immediacy of now. This moment is the doorway where grace pours itself into your being. This moment is the temple where the divine whispers that you are already whole, already loved, already received. Salvation is not coming. Salvation is not coming. Salvation is happening. Blessings are not coming. Blessings are happening. They are here. Miracles are not on the way. Miracles are here in this moment. Every breath is an invitation to remember that you stand in the presence of God right here, this very second. Beautiful, right? This is the beginning of seeing life through the eyes of devotion. Right now, I stand in the midst of God. Everything. I am surrounded by God. I am surrounded by miracles and by God. This is the evolution into looking at life with the eyes of devotion. Okay? When you stop placing your fulfillment in tomorrow, you discover the truth that heaven is not a place you travel to. Heaven is a state of consciousness you awaken into. The future cannot save you because the future is not real. The past cannot define you because the past is already gone. The future cannot save you because the future is not real. The past cannot define you because the past is already gone. Only the now carries the full weight of eternity. This moment carries the full weight of eternity, the full weight of God. Only the now is capable of carrying God. So when scripture says, right, now is the accepted time, it means there is no delay between you and your breakthrough. No separation between you and your desire. No distance between you and the divine. Every blessing you seek is encoded in this moment. Every miracle you long for begins the instant you say yes to the presence of God within you now. Fire. Fire, the power of now. There is no distance. Why is there no distance, right? So I want you to think about it, right? We've been saying the same message, right, from all these different angles. We've talked about simply the knowing, okay, you are God, yes. You cannot get further or closer from God, right? We've talked about it in all of these different verticals and parallels and horizontals, right? You and your desire are one. You and God are one. This moment is all you have. So it's collapsing the illusion of time, of space, of separation. No God out there, God is here. Animating every cell in my body. Every cell in my body is full of the fullness of God. It's filled with the fullness of God. This moment is filled. Oh, shit. This moment right now is filled with the fullness of God. In this moment right now, the fullness of who I desire to be already exists. We're taking all of these different angles and simply collapsing the illusion of separation. Who you desire to be does not manifest 5 seconds from now when you bring up a feeling. That version already exists right now in the declaration that you are who you desire to be. There is no future. There is no future version of you. There is no future version of you closer to God. There is no future version of you more aligned. There is only now. And you are already the fullness of God right now. Okay? So here we go. Now is the doorway. Now is the altar. Now is the moment where eternity meets form, right? Now is the moment where all of your divinity collapses with your identity. Boom. And you experience this moment. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? All of your divinity collapses with your identity and boom, you experience this moment. It happens moment after moment after moment after moment after moment after moment. All of your divinity. The infinite divinity that you are collides with that identity. Boom. And you experience this moment. It's very beautiful. All right, so the next part, the sacred arts of the next step. Sabar, the sacred art of the next step. All you have is the next step. Everything you desire is already alive within you. It is not hanging somewhere in a distance. I almost just got triggered, y'all. I need to calm down, take a couple of deep breaths. Everything you desire is already alive within you. It is not hanging somewhere in a distant tomorrow, waiting for you to earn it. It is vibrating in the unseen, pressing through your consciousness like a seed splitting open underground. Say that one more time, because that shit was full of gems. Everything you desire is already alive within you. Why? Because the kingdom is within you. God is within you. Everything that you desire is already within you. It is not hanging somewhere in a distant tomorrow. Right? It's not hanging somewhere in a distant tomorrow, waiting for you to earn it. It is vibrating in the unseen right now, pressing through your consciousness like a seed splitting open underground. Right? The fullness of who you desire to be exists right now. It's ready. It's ready for you to just claim it. You do not need to force the seed into a tree. You only need to water the soil that is here. Now you're allowed to say it. It's just funny because y'all would jump in and y'all just get straight to the SP question. Like, I don't care what you talking about in here. Tell me how to get my SP. Right? But you can't, you just, the reason why it's not a knock on you. Okay. The reason why I do that, or the reason why it always takes me back, is because you can't get there from here. Like, you can't get that person back, or the prosperity that you're seeking, or the thing that you want, from this desperate plea. Right? From this desperate plea. Right? You can only have what you already have. Right? You can only have what you already have. But we'll get there. I'll talk about that in a second. Right? So you do not need to force the seed into a tree. You only need to water the soil that is here. Your job is not to predict the next 3 months. Your job is to take the next breath with awareness. Your job is not to see 10 steps ahead. Your job is to honor the step before you. So a quote from Lao Tzu. This is a beautiful quote. Do you have the patience to wait until your mud settles and the water is clear? Do you have the patience to wait until your mud settles and the water is clear? What does that mean? Until your mud settles and then the water is clear. Yep, all unity consciousness. All unity consciousness. There is only one. There is only one. Okay? Every storm within you eventually sinks into stillness. Every storm. Right? Every emotion, every thought, every whatever. Even the circumstances, they all sink into stillness. Every storm within you eventually sinks into stillness, but only if you stop trying to outswim the waves. The mud is not your enemy. The mud is not your enemy. The mud is simply life being stirred by your own fear, urgency, and desire to control. When Lao Tzu asks if you have the patience to wait, he is asking if you can resist the ego's impulse to fix everything right now. Can you resist the ego's impulse to fix everything right now? Can you trust the intelligence of spirit to handle what your anxious mind cannot? The water clears on its own when you stop thrashing in it. Clarity is not forced, right? Clarity rises from quiet, like the dawn rises from darkness. Beautiful. Beautiful. When you let the mud settle, you discover that your confusion was never a sign of failure. It was a sign that you were in motion. It was a sign. Your confusion was never a sign of failure. It was a sign that you were in motion, that something in you was trying to evolve. The moment you choose stillness, the sediment of doubt, right? The residue of doubt, fear, and old stories sinks back to the bottom. Suddenly you can see. You realize that the guidance you were begging for was already present once the chaos settled. The answer was always underneath the turbulence. Your next step is revealed when you stop searching for 10 of them. Your desire becomes visible when you trust that clarity is born from surrender and not struggle. I spent so much time, right? I spent so much time trying to struggle against myself, force myself into submission. I have to feel a certain way to know that I am it. I have to think a certain way to know that I am it. Feel a certain way. Circumstances must look a certain way. All of that was just leading me to suffering, leading me to more anxiety, more fear, more doubt, more circumstances showing up to prove to me that I was just being the person that was trying to fight against who I thought I was. And so more situations continued to manifest to allow me to fight harder. Things seemed to be stripped away. Anxiety seemed to pile on. Now, when I switched, right, to simply becoming neutral, to surrendering, to walking through life with righteousness, okay, of course the anxiety was still there, but I continued to have these opportunities where doubts, fears, anxiety, situations would show up, and I would just have the opportunity to confront them. This is not me anymore. This is not true. But when you're constantly trying to be someone, you're constantly trying to, hey, I'm trying to reach for this version of me that I do not believe that I am, that I do not accept that I am. Okay? I'm constantly in this battle. I can't be still enough to actually allow that anxiety to settle. I don't want to be in that anxiety. I want to fight it off because I believe that anxiety is the problem. I'm treating a symptom like it's the problem. But the actual issue is simply my awareness of being. Is that I was identifying with everything coming up. I was identifying with the anxiety. Oh, because I feel anxiety, I must be anxious. I must be doing it wrong. Because I have questions, I must not be it. Because I have fear, I must not be it. Something must be wrong. Right? And we can go back to this skydiving analogy. Oh, let me make sure I don't lose my spot. Yeah. We can go back to this skydiving analogy, right? Here it is. So this person, right, sending this email, they said, and yet through all of that searching, right, they were searching for a technique. They were searching for stuff. Matter of fact, let's just read this first few things because some of y'all might have joined late, right? I've been wanting to write you for a long time, but today I felt something in me push forward and say, send it now. Okay? I'm so grateful for you and for what you shared yesterday that I cannot keep this to myself. I have followed you on YouTube for a while. I have listened. Here we go. I have listened to your lectures, replayed your words, taken notes, and sat with your teachings. I have gone back and forth between multiple manifesting coaches. I have taken their master classes and spent thousands of dollars on courses. I have tried every meditation and manifestation technique, thinking there was some missing secret I had not found yet. And yet through all of that searching, I still felt like I was standing at the edge of something. The metaphor that flashed in my mind was a skydiver. I felt like a person standing at the door of an airplane with their parachute strapped on. All the information in the world was behind me. Every statistic on how safe the jump was, every success story, every reassurance, every instruction from experts who had done it before, they could tell me the parachute was safe. They could tell me thousands of people jump every day. They could say I would land safely, but none of them could jump for me. You hear that? This is how we are with manifesting. All the information in the world was behind me. All of it. All of it. Every statistic on how safe the jump was. All of the manifestation stories. All the stories, all the stats. This person manifested this. This person manifested that. This person manifested this. Every reassurance, every success story, every instruction from experts, from coaches who had done it before. They could tell me the parachute was safe. They could tell me thousands of people jump every day. They could say I would land safely, but none of them could jump for me. And that was exactly what you helped me understand yesterday. You said, make a decision that you understand. I realized that I have been standing at that edge of the airplane door, staring into the sky, waiting for someone else to push me via the perfect technique, coach, or aligned feel. I wanted life to give me permission, but yesterday I told myself it is time. You are the one who has to jump. I have never lacked information. I lacked the courage to say I am the one. So last night I sat with everything and said to myself, I need nothing else. It clicks now. I am done searching. The magic moment. a choice, right? It always comes down to a choice. I get to make a choice for my life. What do I want? What do I want? Do I want to decide that this makes sense? Do I want to decide that I'm just it? Do I want to begin making the rules, or do I still need permission to begin making up my own rules? What do I want to do? Okay, cool. So here we go. The moment you accept that your desire is already fulfilled, something subtle but divine happens. The future stops looking like a threat. When you truly accept, okay, that your desire is fulfilled, that just is what it is. The future stops looking like a threat. Time stops feeling like an obstacle. Here we go. Your nervous system relaxes into the knowing that God has already gone before you. No, you still doubt. You still doubt, Greco. You still doubt. But you see it just for what it is. It's an illusion. Doubt is an illusion. Doubt is the illusion. Okay? So Mark 11:24. Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. Believe you have received it now. This is the mystic secret. Whether we talk about Rumi or Meister Eckhart or Jesus, Yeshua, whoever. This was the secret, right? The future is not coming. It is created by your assumption. Once you assume the desire fulfilled, you do not run toward it. It unfolds from within you. It rises like dawn from your own consciousness and spills itself into the world. The miracle is not out there. The miracle is becoming you. How much longer I got on this? Okay, cool. I'm going to read through the rest. Okay. Ancestor 1111, my deepest and sincerest condolences to you. I offer you nothing but love, right? Nothing but love. I know and trust, right, that you will. I pray you give yourself the grace through this situation. I can't imagine or begin to speak like I know what you're going through. Right? But I'm sending you nothing but love. I send you nothing but love. And I hope, right? I trust, I know, I assume that you feel welcomed, right, here by myself and by everyone, and know that you are not alone in what you're going through. Okay, so I wish you nothing but love, and I pray that you give yourself grace and you love yourself through this situation, however long it takes, right? However long it takes. Okay. Cool. Good. All right, I'm going to read through. I'm always blessed. So let's read through this, okay? The Cathedral of Today. The Cathedral of Today, all right? Let this day be a cathedral. Let every breath be stained glass. Let every sensation be a hymn. Let every ordinary task be holy. You do not need a temple. You are the temple. So Luke 17:21, right? The kingdom of God is within you. You are standing inside the kingdom right now, even if you feel uncertain. Right? Gray Cole, my love. Gray Cole, my love. Right? I'm saying this one to you. Okay? Even if you feel doubt, even if you feel uncertain, you are standing in the middle of God right now. Okay? Even in your doubt, you are perfect. It is all working out for you. No matter how you feel, it is all working out for you. You are standing inside the kingdom right now. Even if you feel uncertain, even if your mind races, even if life is not yet shaped the way you want it, this moment is still sacred. This moment is still God leaking through the cracks. This moment is still eternity disguised as the present. This moment is still eternity disguised as the present. When you string together several moments of presence, you create a day. When you string together several of those days, you build a week, then a month, then a life. Not by rushing or forcing, but by choosing this moment over and over again. And in the midst of building that life, what happens is you walk into all of your desires. They unfold from within you. From within you. Okay? Next, the life you desire will come from presence, not panic. The life you desire will come from presence, not panic. Your dream life is not born from anxiety, it is born from awareness. Your desires are not waiting for you in the future, they are blooming inside your current state. Here's a quote from Rumi. Live where you fear to live. Destroy your reputation, become notorious. Do you see what he means by that? Can you see through the base words? Can you see through the metaphor? Okay? Live where you fear to live, right? He's not talking about some location. He's not talking about a physical location. Live where you fear to live. Destroy your reputation. Become notorious. Pure metaphor. That fear, right? Test it, push it. Explore your boundaries, explore your edges, know who you are, decide, choose, right? What he meant was live here, live now, live boldly in the truth that God is the one living as you. The more present you become, the more life reshapes itself around you. Because all creation flows from consciousness, and consciousness happens only in the now. All creation flows from consciousness. Y'all don't know that, right? That's not anything new. All creation flows from consciousness. And consciousness happens only in the now. Precisely. Your perception of you is all that matters. Destroy your reputation. Destroy who cares what you have thought about yourself until now? Who cares what other people have thought about you until now? Decide who you want to be. Destroy the reputation. Presence is creation. Presence is fulfillment. Presence is God in motion. Okay? So I got a letter for you. And then after the letter, we got, we'll do questions. We'll do questions after the letter. Oh, man. Ooh-wee, what an evening. All right, here we go. Beloved, breathe. Slow down. You are here, and here is holy. You have spent so much of your life running toward the future, and apologizing to the present for not being enough. I want you to rest in the truth that this moment is the only home you will ever live in. You are safe to be here. You are safe to breathe here. You are safe to unfold here. The past cannot claim you and the future cannot pressure you, because the only time God has ever met you is now. You do not need to force clarity. You do not need to rush your becoming. You do not need to panic about how your desires will unfold. Let the mud settle. Let the water clear. Let the divine do what the divine does best. Everything you long for is already alive within you. It is not waiting for a better version of you. It is waiting for a present version of you. A you who is willing to listen. A you who is willing to breathe. A you who understands that the next step is all that has ever been required, not the whole staircase, not the entire timeline, just the step glowing beneath your feet. You are not falling behind. You are not late. You are not lost. You are aligning. You are awakening. You are returning to yourself. There is no delay in God. There is no distance in consciousness. There is no gap between you and what is meant for you. There is no delay in God. There is no distance in consciousness. Okay, let me pause right there. That was too profound right there for me to gloss over. I'm sorry, y'all. There is no distance in consciousness. Do you understand what that means? Does that make sense? Or do y'all want me to elaborate? There is no distance in consciousness. Okay, I'll elaborate. All right, here we go. There is no distance in consciousness. When we talk about God, consciousness, awareness, right? We've these terms, I want you to think about them interchangeably. Okay, there's only one. God is omnipresent, right? So if God is omnipresent, there can never be any distance between you and God. There can never be any distance between God and anything. Okay, the fullness of God is you. Omnipresent means everywhere and everything all at once right now. So the fullness of God is in every single molecule floating through this entire universe, through all of reality. Okay? The fullness of God is me. The fullness of God is every cell. The fullness of God is also in my eyeball. So the nature of it is fractal. All of reality is the fullness of God. And then as you break it and piece it down, it's still all the fullness of God, because God cannot be divided. Omnipresent, beyond the human mind. So when we say there is no distance in consciousness, okay, consciousness. What is consciousness? Consciousness is all that there is God, okay? Now, if you desire to be prosperity, God is omnipresent. Consciousness, there's no distance between God. There's no distance between consciousness, right? So what you desire cannot be in the future, because there's no distance in consciousness. There is no future. There is only the now. So all of these discussions are meant to what? Collapse your perception of distance. Bring everything to this moment. The fullness of God is here now. The fullness of your desire is here now. The version of you that has the fullness of it is here now. There is no distance in consciousness. None. It's all here and now. So that is what we have to accept. So when I say there is no distance in consciousness, that is what it means. Is that you cannot travel to become the version of you that's worthy. Because there's no distance between you and that version of you. It just is you right now. You're already the fullness of that version of you right now. Okay? Cool. So that is elaborated on the next line. So we say there is no delay in God. Why is there no delay in God? Because there's no time that God is only here and now. The fullness of God is here and now. The fullness of everything is here and now. There is no distance in consciousness, and there is no gap between you and what is meant for you. There cannot be, or else God would not be omnipresent. That's the deeper realization. That's the deeper realization. What a beautiful revelation. There is no gap between you and what is meant for you. Because if there was a gap, God would not be omnipresent. All that there is has to exist here and now. All that there is it must exist here and now. So it's about me accepting who I am fully right here, right now. Okay? The kingdom is within you right now. The clarity is within you right now. The fulfillment is within you right now. Walk gently, walk consciously, walk as someone who knows that the moment you stand in is the miracle. Let today be your cathedral. Let your breath be your prayer. Let your awareness be your sanctuary. And when fear tries to pull you into tomorrow, remind yourself, I only ever have this moment. I choose to be here. I choose to be present. I choose to trust. Choose. You are safe to release urgency. You are safe to trust the unfolding. You are safe to believe that everything is already handled. You're not waiting for your life to begin. It is happening right now in this breath, in this awareness, in this sacred now. With love, with clarity, and with presence, right? I am that I am. No matter what. No matter what. Okay? So that was the discussion for today. You're streaming to YouTube right now, so it's always for y'all. Matter of fact, if you want to go watch it from the beginning, you're free to do so. So the next step, the only step, the holy now. Okay? So let's do questions. Let us do questions. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, I thought this one was a cool one. I thought this was a cool one. Yes, sir. Good. Ooh, how long I've been doing this? A couple months. The I am stuff, couple months. Now, a couple months, I mean probably closer to a year than a couple months. You know what's interesting? I went back and I was going through the YouTube videos. We've only been doing these live. I don't think we're doing these live streams for a year yet. I don't believe we've been doing the live streams on this topic for a year yet. So it's been pretty cool. The community growth has been very, very fun to watch, right? And I really had no expectations for it. I had zero expectations. I just was like, let's just build a community. But I've enjoyed the way it's grown, and I know it's just the beginning too. So it's pretty cool. Just a little slow, just sometimes. Only on Sundays or Saturdays. See, you are home. Cool. Who exactly should we be grateful to? Well, just gratitude is simply your natural state of being. It's not that you have to be grateful for anything, right? I want you to really think about this. Let's make a concession and pretend that God is a being. Let's pretend, right? God is pure spirit, but let's pretend it's a being. This being is infinite, right? It's all love, all prosperity. Why would all love need your love or your gratitude, right? It doesn't. Oftentimes when we think we have to be grateful to something, we're trying to use our gratitude as like a bargaining chip. You know, if I give gratitude, then I can get something. And that just turns into a beggar's prayer that detaches you from your power instead of simply standing in the knowing of who you are, right? The gift that you can give consciousness, okay? I want you to think, if this is just consciousness, the gift that you can give consciousness is your presence. Presence to match presence. Because presence, awareness, you are awareness. This is just pure awareness. So if you want to give quote unquote gratitude, simply be in awareness of whatever you're doing. This is why the teachings of the now moment can be so important to us. Presence, right? Even if you think about, presence, okay? Gratitude just allows you to float through life a little better. And even when we're talking about gratitude, I'm not talking about creating some fake sense of gratitude, okay? Some fake sense of gratitude for something that you want to try to get it, okay? The sense of gratitude, if you want to focus on a sense of gratitude, focus on the gratitude of just existing. This was the desire of Source in the beginning, was to experience itself. Therefore creating these beautiful vessels that could hold its consciousness, right? And that consciousness could now perceive itself. So that was the original desire. So just the gratitude for living life itself is enough, okay? When you're trying to pretend to be grateful for something that you don't have, and pretend to feel good about a situation you don't like, right? Now you're just sliding down the beggar's path. You're just doing something to try to get something. I mean, and even the Bible says God will not be mocked, right? That's mocking, trying to manipulate God, trying to put a quarter into the vending machine of God. Here's a little gratitude, God. Give me a blessing. All right, that shit doesn't work. All right. What would I do if the physical plane isn't synchronized with the desire of life? Stay in the knowing. Stay in the knowing. If I don't see what I want, it's still just unfolding. I'm still in the middle. So my job's not to judge the time. It doesn't matter if it takes a day or if it takes a year. It doesn't matter to me. It's gonna show up. Anything that I don't have, anything that I don't see, it's not because I don't have the shit. It's just because I don't see it. It just isn't there yet. You can turn off. It's just because I don't see it yet, right? So you just stay in the knowing. I mean, you have two options, right? You stay in the knowing until it shows up, or you decide you don't have it. And if you decide you don't have it, then you don't have it, right? It's always just one of those two options. Remembering I am God, I look at myself, no. I look at you and all to it, listen. We reap what we sow. How do I connect with God within me? It's a remembrance. It's a remembrance, right? There's nothing that you can do, think, feel to get closer or further from God, because this God animates every cell in your body. The only distance that we have to collapse is the illusion that there is distance to begin with. There is no distance between you and God. Just your belief that you are it, right? So we'll often say, well, okay, cool. Well, I get it, Alex, but sometimes I just don't feel connected. And I will tell you, well, that is the point. That's the point, is that you have to be in separation. This is the point. Right now, let's imagine that you felt no separation. You felt like you were one with the trees, with every human being, with the clouds, with Earth itself. Your mind would melt into nothingness. So the illusion of separation keeps you grounded here and allows you to it keeps you grounded here and it allows you to experience yourself. You couldn't experience the touch of a woman, the touch of a man, right? If what? There was no illusion of separation. So even forgetting is simply part of the game. It's built into the game. There's infinite past built into your desire, right? So even the forgetting of who you are is built in. So every path is perfect. So the remembrance just becomes more and more sweet every time. And even when you catch yourself doing something and you remember it from grace, oh, this is why I'm here anyway, right? This is what makes that even decent. And how do I pray? Every breath, every word I speak, right? When I talk to y'all, I'm praying because you're God, right? God is everywhere. God is 100% in the water. The fullness of God is in the water, in the air that I breathe. So everything is a prayer. When I choose to see you as divine, as the beautiful goddess that you are, that is me praying. When I go within myself and I think about what I desire, that is me praying. When I decide it's done, that's me praying. When I'm present in this moment, right? Whether it's in conversation or in a nap or in a meditation or drinking water or looking at nature or writing or, you know what I'm saying, talking to my sister or my mother or whoever, right? It's all praying. If everything is God, then what is not praying? Anytime I choose to honor life, I am praying. Not just with my hands crossed, not just when I'm on my knees, right? It's 24/7, 365. It's all a prayer. How do you focus your mind from negativity? It's not about focusing your mind off of negativity. It's simply about taking power away from every thought. You get to decide who you are. The problem is never your thought. The problem is your identification with it. Because right now you can think about movies. You can sing a song lyric for 20 days and 20 nights straight, but your life will not become that song lyric because you don't identify with it. It's just a lyric to you, right? That movie, you don't identify with it, right? You watched Ozark 23 times. You didn't decide to move out to the Ozarks and launder money. It was just a story to you, right? You didn't identify with it. But now all of a sudden, when we have these random thoughts of a version of us that doesn't exist anymore, we still identify with it. You get to make a choice on what you identify with or not. To believe that you have to monitor all 60,000 of your thoughts every day, well, I think that you have better things to do in your life. Like be present, like enjoy whatever you would like to do, right? You're going to end up in a straitjacket trying to monitor all of your thoughts, okay? So it's about choosing an identity and then understanding that no matter what happens, no emotion, no thought pulls me away from that identity. I am the person I desire to be. How do I know if I'm pretending or not? I mean, that's up to you, right? You have to choose. You get to choose. Damn, what's up with the... I still have 18%. We good. I still have 18%. I still have 18%. That's enough. That's enough. That's plenty. How do you alter your physical features? For example, all of those things. The same way that you do anything else, right? You make a decision on who you are. Once you make that decision on who you are, reality is what it is, but you have made that choice. So now you allow it to unfold. So It doesn't matter what I see. I know what I am. I know who I am. Therefore, it's going to continue to unfold until it matches my desire, right? It's it. It's it. When you choose an identity and you allow everything to unfold to match that identity, point blank, period. Honestly, I thought about going out. I was like riding through downtown. I was like, dang, I should just go stop by a bar. But I just got this odd voice. I was just like, nah, I'll go home. And I decided to go home. I was actually on the phone with my sister at the time too. I was on the phone with my sister, and she was telling me spots to go to. She was like, hey, like, you should go to this place. She named a couple spots. And I was actually on the way to one, and I just heard this voice. That voice, that small voice is just like, go home. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna listen. So I decided to come home to the crib. I don't know how long I'm gonna give y'all tonight though. We gotta see if somebody asks a good question, and then we get to talking. I might plug in the phone, but if not, if I don't get in the flow before the phone dies, don't know what to tell y'all. Absolutely. Yeah. And I didn't really have the best intent. Well, I had good intentions. She's not here. Keep holding on. What's good, bro? What's good? It's all a mirror. Man. But I was out in, I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with Dallas. I was out. I didn't know there's a spot called Lower Greenville. It's this road. It's got a bunch of bars and stuff. And I was out there. I was jumping. It took me about 15 minutes just to get down that one street because there was just so many people down there. Glorious. What's a question I wish y'all would ask me right now? Um, well, honestly, it don't got nothing to do with reality creation. I tell you that. Nah, I don't, nothing really, nothing really. And what do I need to get in the flow more? I'll let y'all figure that one out. And does God send people our way specifically sometimes? No. But you give everybody meaning anyway, right? So you get to decide if, I wonder what, the moment that you say, damn, this person was sent here for a reason, it means this. That's what it means, right? It's always, everyone is going to be a reflection of you, right? But you have the final say so on what their presence actually means. And then what are my thoughts on nervous system regulation? I would say if anybody tells me they have a dysregulated nervous system, I would say according to who? Who else's body have you ever been in to see if it was dysregulated? Well, then all your dysregulated nervous system, all you're doing is judging yourself, right? You don't need to regulate anything. You just need to make a choice. Why would God need to regulate anything? You just have to make a choice that it's all working out. Just the same way that you've made a choice that you have to regulate a nervous system. The same way you've made a choice that you have to affirm. You've made a choice you have to visualize. You've made a choice that you have to reprogram a subconscious. You've made a choice that you have to rewire, right? We are all connected and ready to bring them right now. Facts. Don't I think that I saw something about safe or something. I just don't feel like scrolling back up. But if your question was something along the lines of, do I think people have to regulate their nervous system because some people are triggered or have trauma or don't feel safe or something? Nope, I don't. I still don't. There's nothing that you could tell me to convince me that God has to regulate his nervous system. Appreciate you being here. All right, then re-ask your question, Liz. Nope, no need to regulate. Right. Could you imagine Jesus in the Bible? Reading the scripture, the man came to Jesus to be healed, and Jesus said, first I got to regulate my nervous system. I feel a little nervous right now. Yeah, I just don't feel like it. Okay, hold up. Let me do my robotic affirmations until you feel better. Thou shalt thou shalt regulate. In the beginning, there was the word and the nervous system. And once regulated, the subconscious mind carried out the command. I never read none of that shit. Thou shalt regulate thy nervous system and feel safe to receive. So the subconscious can now carry out the command. Then detach from the desire. One person can change your world, right? You can change so you always, whatever's going on out there, because all that there is exists, right? So you're going to see all that there is. All that there is. But you're going to have a choice on what impacts you. So people can say the economy's bad. Is that going to impact me? That's my choice. People can say, it's hard to make money this way. Money's hard. The job market is shitty. People can say that, but you still get to decide what's going to impact you. Right? Life is what it is. Reality is what it is. It's inherently neutral, but we start giving it meaning. We just don't want to give it meaning that impacts us. But you can absolutely create peace in your life. You can have a life full of peace. So you change your world. By extension, you change the world of the people around you as well, which is because none of us truly know the world. We simply know our universe. And you can absolutely change your universe. Huh? I might plug in my phone. So that means heaven. That means heaven is you. You are heaven. It means heaven is consciousness. It's a state of consciousness. Right? You are heaven. If someone is very activated, call it rage, all caps. They won't even register, choose, or be able to hear it. Why do you think that? Why do you think that, Alyssa? The system can be systematically against you, but you don't have to worry. Exactly. For sure. We call heaven outer space. Does God have a design, line of thought, purpose for everyone? No. The infinite versions of you are within you, right? So you choose destiny. This is how powerful you are, right? If right now you make a choice that something is your destiny, that's what it will be. Okay? Now let's really break this down. What happens if right now I decide and I tell you, look, I've got past life trauma I have to work through. Sometimes shit just happens to people and it's from past lives I don't even know about. I'm going to make that decision and our reality is going to give me the proof of that. So I'm going to run into shit that makes no sense. It's going to knock me around. I'm going to say, past life trauma. Boom. If I decide I have a life of ease and flow, and my purpose is simply existing, and sometimes I just get paid for that, that becomes my reality as well. If I decide that my purpose is hard work, dedication, right, doing all that becomes my reality, right? I always have final say so on my destiny. Destiny is what God chooses, but you are the walking embodiment of God. I thought today that no one does the right. No, we don't have to do anything to know your time. Choosing. Oh, glow my love, glow my love, glow. Choosing is effortless. Choosing is absolutely effortless. Can you sit, can you right now say life is perfect, even though I'm tired, and that's just what it is. That's just what it is. I'm glad you're here too, Shelly. I appreciate Shelly. I appreciate you and your other half. The other day, I was looking through the comments and I saw them, and I was like, "Oh, it's nice." And I didn't put two and two together, but I go through all of them and I saw y'all, so it's like that's pretty cool. So I appreciate both of y'all. Does that mean it's not true when they say we picked our lives before we? Okay, sure. You pick certain things, of course, sure, right? But that none of that is relevant because when you get down here, you're gonna make up a story about why things happen anyway, right? So, and if that is what becomes true and reality, then why worry about what you chose before you remember, right? Yes, the divine intelligence within you has chosen something. Sure, absolutely. No, I'm not arguing with that point. All I'm arguing with is your need to know why it was, right? Because you're going to make your own reason anyway. And from that reason, now your life is going to flow. The better question is always going to be, okay, whatever happened, but now I am that I am. I'm perfect. I get to choose what I'm going to do and what I'm going to experience moving forward. Yeah, the beginning, the past is irrelevant, right? The past doesn't exist anymore. Oh yeah. Cool. Yeah. Most definitely. Why does God make us remember our past? When you talk about presence, are you referring to moments of self-recognition or self-remembrance? I'm talking about both. I'm talking about both. Self-remembrance, self-reflection, the same thing. It's the same thing. And yeah, bro, I can see YouTube comments. I can see YouTube comments. You can consider the past blessed. It just does no good for me to sit and linger on the past because the past is just the past. It doesn't exist anymore. It's just a thought. Anything that takes me away from my power, right? Once again, so let me be clear, y'all. I'm not telling y'all not to do techniques. I'm not telling you not to think about your past. I'm not telling you that you can't decide that you have past life stuff to work through. All I'm saying is if any of those stories are disempowering, if they take power from you, then you have a choice not to buy into it, right? Like, if I walked around, let's say that I believe that before I came here, I chose my life. Cool. Valid belief. Let's say that I believe that I have past life items that I am either being rewarded for or I'm being punished for. Now, let's say that all of a sudden I start going into all these relationships and the same thing happens. I get cheated on. And now I'm in my mind, I'm saying, oh, I must be getting cheated on because I was a cheater in the past life. That does me no good to think like that. It just strips my power from me. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But now all of a sudden, if money is flowing to me and I'm like, oh shit, I must have, really been good with money in a past life and all the money is still flowing to me. Okay, keep that belief. That sounds like a good belief to me. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that any of these things are inherently right or wrong. But what I'm saying is if you do not want to live the life that is the consequence of that belief, then you can let go of it. That's what I'm saying, is that you're so powerful that you can now pick and choose what beliefs to hold on to and let go of, right? This is always going to be a push for you into your power. Those things are just permission slips anyway. So if they are cool, if they're good, then should allow them to be good. If not, then don't. She lost her job because God wants her to practice patience. Yeah, I mean, look, if that's an empowering story and that's allowing her to have faith that something better is coming, sure. Okay, sure. But it comes down to the perspective. We would need to know more about that story. Okay. Yeah, only stick to the beliefs that feel good, you feel me? Sometimes it feels like self-blame if I create everything in the best stuff. But it's not about you creating it, right? If everything exists within reality, within consciousness, what do you expect not to see? So the path of accountability, even right, Gospel of Thomas said, when you seek, do not seek until you find. At first you will be disturbed. That's that realization. It's all my fault. I did all of this. I created all of this. Okay. It says, and then you will be amazed, right? And you will rule over all. That's the disturbing part. I created all of this. But the trap is not sitting around and thinking, why would I create this? Why did I create this? It doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about that. All you have to do is decide if you want to experience more of it or less of it. That's it. Y'all are so kind to each other. Y'all are so kind to each other. So about the nervous system, how is it that I don't need to regulate my nervous system? If the nervous system isn't working at its best, then the rest of the body isn't at its best. What I'm saying is, what reference point do you have to tell me that your nervous system isn't working right? You've never been in anyone else's body. So it's not that you have a reference point. You're simply judging yourself. Working at its best according to who? In what regards, right? What point of reference could you draw on and say, this is the ideal functioning of the nervous system? You don't know. Right? So we're simply judging ourselves. All I'm saying is remove that judgment. You just accept that right now, no matter how you feel, you can have exactly what you want. Like the whole concept of you have to feel safe or you have to feel this way or that way, all of that is simply an illusion. Those are all just buzzwords. Right? You are already everything you desire to be. But we've been in our own bodies when they were functioning properly. It's still a judgment. That's what I'm saying. It's still a judgment. But there's a reference point of regulated emotions. Oh, y'all are really fighting for this. All right. Look here. This is what I'm saying, okay? You don't have to wait for perfect conditions to have perfect results. Now, it doesn't matter how many times I tell you that your feelings don't matter. If you want your feelings to matter, go ahead. The point that I'm making is, why would you want that dependency? Why would you want some dependency of retraining yourself to have the life you want? If you believe that you are God, then right now you can accept that you can have whatever you want no matter how you feel. Or you can choose a different story. So I'm just pushing you into your power. I'm not here to debate whether some people feel more anxious than others. That's cool. That's fine. But still, the point remains, you can pull scientific studies. You can pull all these scientific studies. It doesn't matter to me. You've never experienced my nervous system. I will never experience yours. You could say, oh, 5 years ago, I was better off. You're not that person you were 5 years ago. You think you remember that, but you don't. That person had different experiences. They saw life differently. They experienced things differently. That was a completely different person. You don't know them anymore. You know a snapshot of them. You know who you are right now. And you're simply judging that other person that you were based on who you are now. All I'm saying is, stop judging yourself. Just accept that right now you're perfect, no matter how you feel, no matter what you think, no matter what you're going through, no matter what the doctor says, no matter what the therapist says, no matter what I say. Just decide. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Is that right now, if you tell me, okay, why shouldn't I worry about the nervous system? Because this, that would be your reality. All I'm saying is, you don't have to settle for that. That does not have to be your reality. Whatever science says is cool. Okay? Science says a lot of things that people overcome. Psychology says a lot of things that people overcome. If you're the creator of your reality, you get to decide what everything means. So it's not about the real list. It's not about us talking about what is real and what's not, in terms of how you feel or how people with certain nervous system things feel. That's cool. They can have that. The bottom line is that you control your experience. You can only judge yourself. You can never know. You can never know how someone else feels. You can only know how you feel right now, and you can only fully accept that right now you're perfect. Boom. And it's the same way with other things, right? It's overthinking. When we say overthink, I'm an overthinker. It's the same thing in reference to who? Who else's mind have you been in and experienced their thought patterns? Nobody's. It's just a judgment of self. So it's just like, okay, let's get beyond the judgments of self, right? We put all of these stains on the mirror. Okay, and wonder why we struggle to see the divine, because we've put all these labels on it. We're like, okay, I have to regulate this nervous system. Okay, I have to stop overthinking. Okay, I have to do this. I have to do this. Before you know it, you have all these names and labels in between you and God that you can't even see yourself clearly anymore. You can have what you want no matter what label you put on it. But I trust that made sense. Don't get caught up in the nervous system is real and it's not real. That's not where I'm trying to get you to. Okay? What I'm trying to get you to understand is that no matter how real it is, it's only real in your mind. It's only a problem in your mind. It's not really a problem. It's an opportunity for you to remember your power. Don't allow anything to stand between you and God. Don't allow anything to stand between you and your desire. No matter what. No matter what. Great God, I appreciate you. Good night. I appreciate you. How can you think or speak about your health to get better? Just decide. Just decide. Decide you're getting better at every moment. Decide that every time it comes to your awareness, you're getting healthier and healthier and healthier, moment by moment by moment. Right? That's it. What do you do when you feel alone? Because I know I'm God. God's with me, but sometimes I feel like it's all on me. You allow yourself to feel alone and remind yourself of the truth. You've never been alone because there's only God. Well, or you can look at it the other way, that you've always been alone because there is only God. Which is, maybe that'll be a full topic because I don't want to get into that right now. But you allow yourself to have a human experience. You allow yourself to know that part of the human experience is sometimes, I'm going to feel lonely. Sometimes I'm going to feel sad and down and out and depressed and fearful and anxious and all those. And that's fine. And that's fine. I'm still perfect. Okay? Honor yourself. Honor yourself. What a fucking miracle, bruh. All of this created and then you manifest inside this divine vessel to experience yourself. Sometimes I zoned off for a minute and I was just thinking about that. It always blows my mind whenever I zone out and go to that remembrance. What a fucking mind trip. Talk about something that's already impossible. How impossible is that? All that there is manifest. You're all that there is. And all that there is created all that, right? And what if nervous system regulation helps the body-mind experience? If it helps, it helps. If it hurts, I would ask you, why are you holding on to it? The same with anything, right? If somebody says, oh my God, you're a Capricorn, you're destined to be rich. I mean, if I want to hold on to that shit, guess what? I'm holding on. I'm gripping it. No pause. I'm gripping it. No pause. Right? But if they're like, you're a Capricorn, you're a Scorpio, you're so controlling and jealous, and you'll never have a relationship, why the fuck am I holding on to that shit? So it's about what you decide to allow to empower you or disempower you. It's about you. Always thinking something is wrong with me because I'm not. So if he didn't walk in my... Well, let's just surge and let it go. My conscience goes to love. My desire is always love. Yeah. I've come to realize that not accepting my desires fully as fulfilled right now, it just leads me to suffering. Because then I'm going to try to become them and all these things. I'm going to just be delaying myself from getting them. It's just suffering. Where the logical response is just, I have the desire. I've already accepted it as mine when I have the desire. Because I'm already all that there is. Now I just go on by my business and know that they're going to unfold. But every other path just leads me to suffering. Right? Not accepting my desires as fulfilled. Not accepting even this, right? I also accept my desires as, and Joseph Rodriguez says this a lot, mutually beneficial. I accept my desires as mutually beneficial, right? If, let's say I want a woman, right? I'm not just thinking about it as accept the desire and this is the benefit that I get. I immediately know that it will be mutually beneficial if she walks in my life because she will leave better, right? If you want a job, right, it's going to be mutually beneficial. You are going to fill that role in a way that nobody else can. The prosperity is mutually beneficial. It's still going to flow back out of me because you best believe I'm not hoarding the money. I ain't never been a hoarder of money. Or you should have seen me in Vegas, in the casinos, and in the strip club. You should have seen you. Boy, I was not hoarding a goddamn dollar. All right. So it's mutually beneficial. It's always mutually beneficial. All right. So, and I'm just playing about the strip club. I wasn't in the strip club. Or was I? Yeah, I love Vegas too. Just the order of new sneakers. How do I feel about tarot? It's cool. It's cool. Once again, though, disempowering. If it disempowers you, nope. But if you understand that you still get the final say so on, if somebody presents you whatever, right? You still get the final say so on. You still get the final say so on if that's your destiny or not. What's that Vegas strip club that everybody always talks about? I'm sure y'all know it. It's two of them. They're like side by side. They're side by side. It's dang, what do they call it? I think it starts with like a P or a. I know some of y'all. I know somebody know. Y'all freaky asses. I know one of y'all know what I'm talking about. Whatever. Whatever. Never mind. There's one that has this food truck. It's supposed to be famous because it had this food truck by it. They had like cheesecakes and stuff. That's it. That's it. It's Palomino. That's it. Oh, wait. Let me charge my phone, y'all. It's Palomino, and then there's another one right by it. It's called something else. I forgot. All right, let's get this back on. What? Okay, so I log back in and y'all on here talking shit. Y'all are funny. Y'all are funny. No. I definitely finished that story. For anyone who hasn't heard, that was one of my manifesting moments, right? This was before I really knew who I was, right? I love how I gotta preface stories like this. Like, hey, all right, just to let y'all know, this was before I knew who I was, right? I was, like most of us are, like most of us have been, I was down that path of thinking that the powers and techniques, right? So I did a manifesting spell once. Right? I did a manifesting spell. And so the manifesting spell, I had found it, right? I found it on, I might have found it on Reddit. Damn, did it die again? All right, let me get my other phone. My bad, y'all. Phone died. But it's cool, though. I was done with the story anyway, so it's all good. So anyways, what else y'all want to talk about? What are the questions y'all got? So yeah, that was the question, y'all. All right, that was the story, y'all. It was crazy. It was real crazy. Yeah. But anyways, enough about me. I feel like I've talked about myself for so long. Let's talk about y'all. Oh no, I already finished the story. I'm just so tired. I can't even really I can't even tell it anymore.